Welcome to Fast Effect. We are jumping right in here as Jeff on Burn is facing Matt on Punishing Thieves. A couple of snow-covered mountains enable a Eidolon of the Great Revels. Previously, Goblin Guides started the beatings, and we'll see if Matt is able to stabilize versus this relentless aggro deck, which has been around since day one. I mean, mono red, burn, with lightning bolts. Of course, you used to be able to play any number of lightning bolts in a deck. That one of the cards that caused the 4 of rule to come into being. And once Legends came out, you had Chain Lightning and the Dark added Ball Lightning. So many cards have continued to add to the arsenal for the Red Mage. Abrupt Decay does kill Eidolon, but not before it does some work. And now another Goblin Guide comes in, getting 1 damage, or 1 card into Matt's hand, leaving a Brainstorm on top, which will enable additional card advantage for sure. The Brainstorm can put more lands on top, allowing the Goblin Guides to push them into Matt's hand. But, you don't have a lot of time for those type of shenanigans versus Burn. Getting incremental card advantage isn't necessarily going to be the thing that wins the game, as they're looking to close that window as quickly as possible. Fire Blast and Price of Progress, just hellacious finishers, either free, very difficult to play around, or, in the case of Price of Progress, potentially doing 8 or more damage for only 2 mana. Doesn't get much more efficient than that when it comes to burning your opponent. Representing 3 mana, Matt may have like a Snapcaster, and he's going to go with a Fire Blast in response to the fetch. Force of Negation, stopping the Fire Blast. Only 4 life left. Oh, a Lightning Bolt as well. Another Force of Will, but that puts him at 3. And now the fetch likely to get a Snapcaster Mage. What do we have? No, 3 mana. Kolaghan's Command. No, Kolaghan's Command is going to kill a Goblin and make Jeff discard a card, perhaps? Yes, so Skewer the Critics goes to the graveyard. Matt down to 1, and of course, more burn. Never ends. Actually, it was the last card in his hand. If Matt could have somehow survived that, he might have had a chance. The top of the deck, though, would be absolutely dangerous with any card able to just remove that final point of life. Also makes it pretty tough to use Force of Will effectively when you're sitting at 1. 5 mana counter is not the most efficient thing, though. At that point in the game, might be acceptable. But Jeff does take that one down as we are on to the next one. Burn, a really fun deck. It's, as far as getting into Legacy, if you've been thinking about it, I can tell you we just had another player pick up a Burn deck. They were straight from the kitchen table into Legacy, and I'm really looking forward to them playing in our events. We've had that happen many times, and even if you're not going to end up being the most serious tournament player in the world, just playing in tournaments is a lot of fun. And of course, it's a rewarding way to play Magic because, you know what? Tournament results don't lie. Given 3 months, 6 months, a year, over a long period of time, you kind of establish your ability in terms of playing the game and the kind of nuance that's necessary for success with the game. And you know where you need to go. You can see the improvement. You can find the lines that need improvement. You can find the mulligan decisions, the technical play. And, that's really what our brains are wired to feel great about, is the incremental improvement toward a goal. And that's one of the awesome things about tournaments, is giving you that ability to literally be leveling yourself up over time, improving with your understanding of the game and your ability to play it. And, the prizes are a nice indicator of that. Now, of course, some of our biggest prizes are given away at random. As always, like to thank Fee for his incredibly generous prize support, which has really created the draw for this community. There's plenty of ways that people can play Magic, and we really appreciate everyone choosing to be part of this community. And I couldn't be more grateful for the community and for Fee's generosity. Of course, for those unfamiliar, Fee has donated an incredible amount of cards, dual lands, just so much great eternal playable cards, and those are given away every Wednesday. Actually, as I'm recording this, next Wednesday we're going to be giving away the final door prize. It's going to be a Null Rod, and that's gone up significantly since Fee walked into the store and picked out a bunch of cards and said to donate them to the players. Just an incredible act of generosity. We've already given away Tropical Island and Gaia's Cradle. So many great cards. Now we've got a Ponder for Matt. Jeff, land go. We might see an end step Bolt. That's fairly unusual. Generally, you want to use your worst burn first, so things like Lava Spike are going to want to get out of your hand sooner than later. Lightning Bolt can be played at any time. And now 2 mana. We have a Lava Spike. Do we have Skewer the Critics? No? Wow, this is not efficient use of Jeff's mana. I don't like his chances here just based off of how inefficient this is. We've got multiple turns now where mana has not been used. And we have a Pyroblast stopping a Hull Breacher, a card that probably wouldn't have mattered very much, but I mean, it is a body. He doesn't have any creatures yet. Those creatures get worse as the game goes on in terms of top decks. Now, Euro has come out, undone some of the damage already from this early burn, and now Monastery Swiftspear, with only 4 cards to support it, is going to be hard-pressed to stand up against a Euro. Matt actually happy to throw a Force of Will at that, and now 3 damage coming in. Only 3 cards left in hand. If you're doing the math, that does not add up to a win for Jeff. That's not actually possible for those cards to do enough damage against this board. A Blood Moon. That's a fairly uncommon sideboard card for burn, if you can believe it. Even though it is mono red, it's not really what burn wants to be doing. Now, Alpine Moon does sometimes see play as an answer to Dark Depths. That is something that we definitely see on occasion. But yeah, Blood Moon, not a super common sideboard card, and it does get brushed aside by that Abrupt Decay. Gonna float the mana in response to the Blood Moon and then use that to take it out. Now, Exquisite Firecraft. This is a problem. And you know what? If Jeff has multiple Exquisite Firecrafts, this could be very interesting. One of the things about burn is, as a control player, you're looking for a point to stabilize, where you can kind of draw a line in the sand and say, all right, now I'll start using my counter spells to stop these one-of burn cards, things like Lightning Bolt. And generally, that's going to be when you're pretty darn close to death, if not literally just avoiding lethal. Exquisite Firecraft changes the goalposts. I mean, all of a sudden, what, if you stop at 8 life, is that enough? I mean, if they have double Exquisite Firecraft, you're not going to be able to counter those. You're potentially dead at 8 life, even though normally you might feel like you've stabilized with plenty of cushion. So it's a really interesting card. I personally like running 4 of in the main deck. I was actually bringing in a lot of uncounterable cards prior to that tech becoming mainstream. Even things like Volcanic Fallout I would bring in post-board. Ooh, man. Here's another Firecraft. And down to just 5. But 1 card in hand. We've got a Plague Engineer chipping away. Matt now with Brainstorm. Yeah, I don't know how I feel about using that Exquisite Firecraft there. It may be better. It's tough. I mean, it's very likely Matt's going to use any type of counter he has on just about anything here on out. That fetch land. Yeah, there's the other Exquisite Firecraft. I don't know that I love that. So Matt's at 1 life. He doesn't use the fetch. Yeah, this is tough. This is tough. I'd have to really think about that. I don't know. Ideally, you want that Exquisite Firecraft to be doing the final uncounterable damage. Colgan's Command being cast during the upkeep, or during the draw step after the draw. We've got a response of a Price of Progress, and Matt is out of counters, and that is going to do it as Burn picks up 2 versus this very interesting Punishing Thieves deck. That is all for this one, but don't worry, there is a lot more. You can check out our older videos, and we're always putting out new videos from ELD's Time Vault Games in Bellingham, Massachusetts. If you want to help the channel, of course, you can like, subscribe, share, tap that notification bell so you can know the next time our new videos come out. Thanks for watching.